Hi, I'm Bob Hughes with JD Squared. What a great day, huh? I'm here at the factory on a Saturday. That's why it's all dark in the background. Get a little bit of quiet. Anyway, I'm going to show you how to hook up the low-powered electrical connections on our RC6 Rotary cutter. In a previous video, I explained how to align and anchor the machine down to the ground. This will be one of the next steps that you'll need to perform. I won't be talking about the high-powered electrics in the machine. In other words, back by the control panel and everything where the 208 or 230, 240, whatever is hooked into, you're going to need to refer to our support page. There's documents on there that explain all of that. You're going to want to provide that to your electrician or other qualified person. Don't forget, 200 and something volt electricity will kill you dead, so make sure you have a qualified person doing that installation. What we're talking about is on this in the machine, we're going to be hooking up the low power electric. So let's go ahead and get started. First thing, we have the power head right here. We have 3 cables coming from it. Now, we use these rather robust connectors on the end, and if you're wondering why such a large connector for such small cable, it all has to do with electrical interference. These connectors are specifically designed to make sure that we have a ground connection between both sides of the cable. They're not cheap, but hey, that's what you got to do if you're looking for a good machine. All right, so to make life easier for you, we've obviously, all the cables in the machine have been labeled with numbers. So if you ever need to provide information to an electrician or a certification agency or something like that, you can download the schematics off our website also, and you'll see all the corresponding numbers. Now, to make it easier for the average layman like myself, we've also used 3 different sizes of wire. We have a large black cable, we have a small gray cable, and a large gray cable. They will match the corresponding cables that are going back to the control box. Let me show you the connector here real quick. There's 2 knurled rings on the front of the connector. The outside one, this one on this side, is the one that we're going to spin to connect it. The inside knurled connection was actually used to do the sealing right here. You do not want to spin that connection. You're probably not going to be able to anyway, but just remember, we're dealing with the knurled ring closest to the connector. All right, so the first thing we're going to need to do is get the corresponding cable, and you have a male and a female side, and they're keyed. So all you have to do is put them together and then gently rotate them and push them together until they fall in with each other, and then just turn the inside knurled rings towards each other. And as simple as that, we have our connection. Let's go ahead and do the next one. Large cable to large cable. Make sure you got the cables right, because you could connect the black one to the other one. They're the same connector, so you definitely want to make sure that you've got the right one. All right, let's go ahead and do this one right here. I just realized I didn't have to put my glasses on to do this, so it must be simple. All righty, finally the last one. Okay. All right, the next step is we're going to hang them on the machine. If you look down here, we've got a hanger that we provided. It's underneath the water table to protect it from splash or whatever. Now, the way these go into it is you will install them through the slot on the top. You will push up, and then you push in, and then let them fall back down, and that locks them in pretty good right there. All right, let's go ahead and pop the other 2 in. Okay. All right, there we go. All 3 connectors are there. We're looking pretty darn good. All right, another connector that we have to attach to the power head is the ground cable coming from the main grounding bar by the control panel. Remember, what we suggest on your plasma, in fact, we kind of insist that you do it, is you take the ground cable from your plasma and you hook it into our grounding bar back there. Very large green cables are going to it. It's easy to identify. Then you're going to take a section and you're going to run a section up to the front here, and we are going to connect it to the grounding bar right here, this copper bar. Now, this bar is connected to a sliding grounding strap that runs around the spindle, so that as the spindle rotates, we get a nice ground. Put your bolt, your washer into your grommet or into the, I can't remember, eyelet, I guess. Install that into the round. Oh, I'm sorry, I almost forgot. Very, very important step. Clean this with Scotch-Brite. Make sure there's nothing on it. Just wipe it down real good so you see clear, clean copper. All right, now put it in, put the washer on the back side. Go ahead, put the nut up in there. All righty, about got it. Okay, here we go. Looks like we're doing pretty good. And then, using hex wrench, whatever, go ahead and secure it down pretty darn tight. You want it tight. There we go. Okay, so that is secured. You want the best possible ground connection you can get, so don't take no shortcuts right there. Now, that's pretty much it for here. As far as the torch goes, our machines have torch height control system. They can sense the metal. They can sense the tubing. And what I'm talking about that, let's just say we're cutting, I don't know, 4-inch square tubing in this machine. The machine will come along and it will probe both sides of the tubing and then the top of the tubing and rotate it, and then it will check it again to verify that the tubing truly is flat. Now, the way it does that, it's going to use the ohmic connection on the plasma unit, and it's basically going to connect the electrical circuit, so whenever the torch touches the workpiece, it'll know, hey, I'm there. Now, that means there's a wire going back to the control box, and it's got a spade on the end of it, or the female, and you're going to hook it to the male spade on your plasma torch. So you will need to have that little connector that goes on the end of your torch. That's provided by Hypertherm. In order for this machine to operate properly, it uses torch height control system, so it's just not a dumb machine, and we need that wire. So we hook that up. All of the cables here, the laser, the scriber system, all that is pre-hooked up at the factory. You could look at the support page. If you do need to take it off one day, you'll find information right there. But as far as you're concerned for this video, it's already set up for you from the factory. All right, let's turn our attention right now to the computer. You're going to have two 110 cables that you're going to need to connect. One's going to the computer, one is going to the monitor. You're probably going to want to hook it to a surge protector or something like that, but it doesn't matter. You're going to need to connect these to a 110 source. All right, let's go over here. Now, looking at your computer, which we provide with the machine, you have a short HDMI cable that will go from the monitor into the computer. We'll put that there. All right. You also have a Ethercat cable that is going to attach from the computer, and it's going to run back to the control box. So that's how our computer in the machine talks to this computer. It's over that Ethercat cable. You have a wireless system in it. You also going to need to hook up the mouse and the keyboard. Obviously, you know how to do that. It's USB. And then, let's see, is there anything else here? Oh, yeah. The power for the machine, for the computer, tucks down into this right here, and there is a cap that fits right on here. I don't happen to see it right here, but you'll have one that'll cover that top. And that's pretty much all there is to hook up the computer. In fact, that's all there is to hook up everything. Let me go ahead and point out a few things to you. What you see right here is there is no cover on these wires right now. It does come with the machine. I'm just doing videos, how to set things up, and this is the next video, is how to do the tube stabilizer so the cover's off, but it will be there. Another thing, too, to point out, the wires, there is another important wire. I almost forgot. One of these wires here is the Ethernet wire going back to the control box. The other one is for the emergency stop button right here. Now, I'll take a picture of it, show it to you in the video. One of these cables has two leads coming out of it, and that's the emergency stop cable. It will plug into the two openings on the emergency stop, and then you use a screwdriver and you tighten them down. It's that simple. So go ahead and do that. Now, another thing you're probably going to want to do, depending on how far away you want the computer from the machine or where you want it to position, once you determine that, you're going to want to use some tie wraps excuse me, and you're going to want to tie wrap it off the ground. We don't really want these things just sitting on the ground. So what I'm doing right here, fairly simple, just tie wrap it up. Do not tie wrap it to the ground cable. That's not going to be a good idea. So don't do that. And then we may want to put another one right here. The idea is keep it off the ground, you know. Anyway, that's all there is to it. Check out the next videos, which will show you how to install the tooling, all the accessories, water injection, stuff like that. And if you've bought a RC6, I deeply appreciate it. Thank you very much. And if you're shopping, I hope this video was a little bit, informative for you. Anyway, thanks again. Hope you have a great day. Bye.